Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Advancement Center and to the world of magic and miracles. Welcome from where I live, a place called Earthlandia. I greet you with a smile from there to here and back again. It's always great to be here. There's many systems on the planet that are dissolving now, and most things are happening behind the scenes. So many masters and beings, galactic beings and councils, moving things from behind the scenes. One of my tasks here has been to hold a container for the divine feminine as it comes back into its divinity. And this week has been extra strong in terms of that energy that is moving towards its divinity, having to go through dissolution and change. It is probably connected to the wars that are breaking out on the planet, which is connected to the masculine energy and the feminine energy. I can feel them both, but primarily I can feel the feminine energy as all systems make their last gasp at coming into alignment with perfection, with who they really are. So I hold the container for that movement, and I can sense its movement, just as you may be able to sense other things and hold a place for them to return to. I'm going to share a few words that I just wrote. I firstly want to acknowledge Robert Young and Simeon. They arrived here in 1986. Robert in form in a human body, and Simeon, his twin, not in form, but in the outer reaches of the universe. They delivered the foundation for all the information about who we all are and why we are here. It was not normal then and not easily accepted or understood, but they laid the groundwork for what is so freely coming now. For now, it is considered normal, and many of the words that they spoke that were considered woo-woo are now spoken by millions. And now they have drifted into the background to bring new things that won't be recognized until years later. Their transmissions and communications have been the light that has lit my path so that I could be the light to light others. They have stepped back so that I can go forward, and go forward I have done. Cheers, Robert and Simeon. I am with you always. My body and my being are mutating into the new human as I feel myself living more and more in the new world that I call Earthlandia. Every moment that I am not interacting with people, I disappear. And from this world and its systems, its way of thinking, being, and living. It is only the connection with the people that keeps me here. But it is this change that is allowing me to freely speak about this place, my old home, from my new home, with great compassion, love, knowingness, and authority. This mutating is truly like an identity crisis. For as the old identity slowly slips away, a new one takes center stage, one that you recognize as the true being that you always were. And your world is aglow with purpose from the magnificence of this remembrance. I am hearing my voice in songs that are playing on the radio. And today, as I was driving into work, I clearly heard my brother's voice, Bobby, and a singer who was singing a song on the radio. My brother who passed away 44 years ago, I knew he was there. And I felt him and me merging. And I knew that he has returned into this dimension. It was overwhelming and filled the spaces in me that I didn't even know were there. Now that I know, I'm going to do what I know that I should have been doing years ago. I will not say what that is, but it has to do with who I am. Sorry that it took me so long, but I'm finally ready and I'm finally here. I will not shrink back from who I am and what I know. I do not know what that will look like or what I am going to be doing, but it will be what I was born to do. Know that healing occurs in many ways, but there is a place of balance and knowing that produces harmony within your field, within your being. And through that harmony, your physical being repairs itself spontaneously with no forewarning and most times without you looking. Within that knowing, there is power, immense power to change the nature of all matter and all circumstances, including your physical being. Your reality is created by what some say is what you believe, but I say your reality is created by what you know. And your physical body, which exists in your physical reality, must respond to what you know. That response is not necessarily based on an audible command, but mostly based on the essence and the presence of one who knows who they really are. That energetic signature is felt at the cellular level of your entire being, and your body and your reality are helpless and defenseless in any attempt to operate outside of this frequency. This is called the answer. There are many questions regarding what this life is and why things happen the way they do. And the answers to these questions are different based on the level of your awareness. Within your level of awareness, the answers may be simple, but outside of your level of awareness, the answers may appear to be incomprehensible and outside the realm of your understanding. One of the main questions that is generally expressed relates to whether this life is your one and only life, that when you die, that is the end? Or is this life and this you eternal, and this is just one life among many that you have lived and that you will live in many different forms through many different lifetimes? And even though there is no wrong answer, each answer sets you on a path that creates your reality, a reality that by your choice you have chosen to exist in. Your answer to the question isn't sealed in stone. It may change as time goes on in either direction, or in a direction that is a combination of the two, or one that eliminates the two completely. Your choice sets up a roadmap for the experiences that you will encounter in this, your one life, if that is how you have answered, or this, your one life of an infinite number of lives, if that is how you have answered this question. And there are some who have not yet heard the question. They are just living life as life itself, not yet aware, at least consciously, that there is a question that they will one day answer. In that moment, it will be like that movie, The Matrix, where the main character, Neo, was asked to choose the red pill or the blue pill. Choose the red pill and your life will continue as it is, living with the knowledge that you will one day die and it will all be over. Or take the blue pill and discover that there is another reality, another truth, and see how deep the rabbit hole goes. You cannot control anyone's choice, and once the choice is made, you cannot convince someone to change their choice by any form of logic and reasoning. It is each one's sovereign choice to choose and create their own reality, to experience what they came to experience, including the experiences that are born from your knowing that we only have this one life, as well as the experiences that come from our knowing that we have never been born and can never die. But know that at the highest level of awareness, you are beyond both choices and beyond the limitations that both in their own way deliver. For when you have arrived at this highest level of awareness, your union with Source is crystallized, and you see and feel as the Source. And as that Source, there are no labels, concepts, definitions, limitations, or even truths. For it is all simply a creation to be experienced. Nothing can truly be understood, for nothing is fixed. Everything is fluid, random, ordered, yet chaotic, simple, yet complex, malleable, and full of movement. A mystery that can't be understood. And even when there are glimpses of immense clarity, by the time you utter the words that try to describe what you have glimpsed, it has all changed. If your choice is that there is only one life that we have to live, then your path is one of work and achievement, goals and accomplishments, and successes and failures, all of which are transmitted to you in a package or program that has been created to give you structure and purpose within that choice. Time is clearly not on your side because you have a limited amount of it according to your choice. And therefore, there are many places of great highs and great lows, regrets and moments of euphoria and validation. This choice is rooted in logic and reasoning, and the belief that you and you alone are responsible for your successes and failures, and that there is no source, creator, God, or higher being that is influencing your life. You are the captain of your ship, and you can pilot it to great heights with hard work, dedication, determination, persistence, and perseverance. And if what you have wished or desired to achieve on your own does not manifest into your life, it is solely because you did not do enough. You did not work hard enough or sacrifice enough of the things that took you away from your focus of acquiring what you desired to acquire. So once again, the main tenet of this choice is work. At every stage of your development, from a child to a young adult to an adult with the full responsibilities of a family and home. It is work that is the message that is delivered from the program for this choice. When you're not working, you're lazy. When you're not working, you have no value. And when you're not working towards some goal or some achievement, you are wasting your life. For the mantra of this choice is, you only have one life to live. Don't waste your life on frivolous things and useless thoughts about the existence of some higher being whom some people say is participating in your life. That will just give you an excuse to be lazy. This choice says there's no one but yourself that's going to make you achieve what you have desired to achieve. This way of thinking is all true for the one who's made this choice, and there is value within the characteristics of that choice. It produces great individual responsibility and therefore great self-awareness. There's no one to blame and no victim mentality that can come from things that have happened to you as a child or at some other point in your life. Therefore, you cannot use these things or anything else as an excuse for how you live or move forward in your life. But you will see that at the extremes of both of these choices, balance is lacking. And where there is no balance, there is no freedom. It is rigid and fixed, filled with rules and regulations and laws. It is mostly of the mind, where logic and reasoning are the tools for all solutions and all movement forward. This is the world of those that have chosen to live life as though there is just this one life, and then you're gone. Now let's look at the life and world of those that have chosen the other answer. The answer that says that this is just one incarnation of a divine, eternal spirit that has never been born and can never die. This life is rooted in the opposite of logic and reasoning, but instead immersed in feeling, intuition, magic, and a connection with the Creator, Source, God, or energy that is, along with a version of yourself that is outside of this physical reality, taking a grand role in the orchestration of the path and the journey of your current incarnation, as well as all others before this one. Because you are eternal and infinite, you see this life as just one turning of the wheel, one experience in time that is actually rooted in timelessness. So you look for meaning, you look for purpose, you look for understanding, while at the same time living a physical life that is fixed within a standard length. You know that this life and all things in it are temporary, coming and going and growing and changing. And you know that the only thing that is unchangeable is your nature as a divine, eternal being of spirit, the same nature as your Creator. So the best word to describe the world of this choice is seek. It is an action that comes along with the mystery that exists within this world of never being born and never truly dying. Unfortunately, this seeking, which should be a natural process of growth, change, awareness, and unfoldment, becomes like work, which is the word I use to describe the other choice. Anytime you have a destination to achieve, the work program is in effect. Anytime you have a standard to meet, the work program is in effect. Have I ascended? Am I awake? Am I spiritual enough? Am I in God's good graces? Am I going to heaven? Instead of seeking, which should be more like finding and discovering, it becomes an action of working and doing, not simply being. So choosing the answer that we are divine and eternal must come with the knowledge that you are already that which you seek, and that there is no work to do. Once again, the seeking is just a natural process of discovering more of who you already are and the purpose for this incarnation within this lifetime. You are divine and eternal, a droplet of water in the ocean called Source or God, and so is everyone else, even if they have chosen the other answer. This instantly changes how you live, what you focus on, how you treat others, and how you experience this life or incarnation. Striving will end, the work action of seeking will end, and you will discover a flow that is connected to a vibration and a frequency that allows you to have peace with all that is. This is the vibration of your Creator, one who is beyond seeking while still knowing that there is constant evolving and changing that never ends. It is the nature of your Creator and his or her creation. For within this choice, there is always more. And the rabbit hole that you descend into is filled with endless new awarenesses that arrive spontaneously for your growth and change, giving you a life of endless excitement, filled with experiences that ask and answer all the questions that come from your innocent nature of being beautifully curious. There are extremes here as well that must be met with balance. Clearly, the working at seeking is one end of the extreme, but also the doing nothing and not taking responsibility for your actions as a human being is at the other end. It is in the arriving in the center where you will find your peace, a peace where all working and all striving will end, and self-responsibility will produce kindness and compassion for all beings, including yourself. Both of these paths are governed by fear, that punishment arm of the program. Fear that I'm not going to reach my desired goal in life or reach my potential, and fear that I'm not going to be found worthy of God's love. That fear is powerful, for it is the opposite of the flow, holding each one in constriction, causing many physical, mental, and spiritual health problems. No matter what you've chosen, no matter what experience you've chosen to have, know that you are loved. You are always and have always been loved. You are loved by a mystery that there is no proof of, which gives validity to both choices. You can't accept what can't be proven, and that's wonderful. And the other can accept it exactly because it can't be proven, but only felt. How many roads must a man walk down before you call him a man? How many seas must a white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand? Yes, how many times must the cannonballs fly before they're forever banned? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. How many years must a mountain exist before it's washed to the sea? And how many years can some people exist before they're allowed to be free? And how many times can a man turn his head and pretend that he just doesn't see? The answer, my friends, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. And how many times must a man look up before he can see the sky? How many times, how many ears must one man have before he can hear people cry? And how many deaths will it take till he knows that too many people have died? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. So in the end, all is well, for all is always well, and each person will come to that knowing one day, no matter what answer they have given today. Cheers to us all. The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. Love, magic, and laughter, but mostly laughter. Thank you for your smile. I am David.